Hi guys, this is Joel Kennedy with Kennedy Violins. Do you ever write fingerings in your music? Well, there's actually a lot of reasons why it's very helpful. Today I'm going to show you why. So guys, there's three primary reasons why you would be helped by writing fingerings in your sheet music. Number one is that if you're a beginner, right? You're just learning how to read music. Doesn't matter if you're a kid or you're an adult. It's just going to speed up the process of you learning how to read music. Number two is that there are a lot of notes that are close on the staff that can be easily confused with each other. It's writing the fingerings in is going to prevent you from making common mistakes. Number three is that writing the fingerings is going to add to consistency of practice. Writing those fingerings in means that you're going to be able to do the same fingerings every time for difficult passages. So let me explain. But first of all, hey guys, if you like this content, if you like the free videos, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and hit that alert bell as well, because I'm doing a video every week and you'll get a notification when I make a new video. So going on to the top three reasons why you would want to write fingerings in. Okay, so number one, if you're a beginner, reading music can be difficult, right? You're trying to associate, a finger with a black dot in your sheet music. Well, if you learn the letter name, then you're creating an additional step for yourself. So if you look at the sheet music and you say, oh, that's a B, right? Then your brain has to say, okay, a B is what finger? And then you have to depress that finger. So you've got black dot, which letter, and then which finger. But if you associate the black dot, the notes, with a finger, you're skipping a step, right? So your brain learns to associate that black dot with a finger. So you can essentially learn twice as fast, which is pretty cool. However, you do have to be careful with this method to some extent. It can be overused. If you use this method completely, like 100%, and you never learn the letter names to notes, then it can be a bit of a crutch, and then you'll never learn the letter names to notes because it's just too difficult. Why learn the letter names, when you already know what finger to put down, right? So for adults, maybe it's not such an issue that you don't learn, the letter names because you don't plan on, going to a conservatory or taking, music theory classes, or maybe you're not going to learn a second instrument like piano, where it's very, very beneficial to know the letter names. So there's only so much damage you can do. If you're an adult, you just want to learn how to read music. It's just quick and dirty. It makes it really fast. But if it's a child, then sure, you can use fingerings and to help them with consistency of practice. But you don't want them to get completely like a huge crutch, like they have to have fingerings, because then they'll get to the point where they never learn the letter names to anything, and then in the future it could hurt them if they want to learn music theory in the future, or they want to learn another instrument, or they want to learn how to notate music. It could make it more difficult for them if they don't know the letter names. But there certainly is a place for it in the beginning stages of reading music for anybody. So number two is it will prevent really common errors. So in sheet music, a lot of the times, there are notes that look very similar to each other, right? You might have two notes that are close to each other on the staff, but they're both on a line. It could be a first finger, it could be a third finger, or it could be on one string, or it could be on the other string. And it's very easy for your brain to kind of mix those up. Or it could be two notes that are close to each other that are both on a space. Is it an open? Is it a two? Is it a four? Right? So just writing it in now and then just to remind yourself will help you be consistent in your practice so you don't make errors. And we don't want to make errors when we practice. Remember, practicing is all about playing something correctly as many times as you can. Okay, so number three, and this reason applies to beginners and professionals, right? Even when I was playing professionally in orchestras and operas, whatever it was, I always use this method. And that is when you have difficult passages that you're trying to learn, let's say there's difficult string crossings or there's complicated shifting or whatnot, you want to write in your fingerings because you want to make sure every time you play this passage that you're playing it exactly the same every time. Because remember, again, practicing, training your mind to do something repeatedly, consistently, the way that you want it to, means that you want to play something correctly as many times as you can. That's how the brain learns, right? So writing in those fingerings, writing bowings in or whatever, that's going to make it so you're consistent. Every time you practice, every time you go in rehearsal, every time you go into performance, whatever it is, you're always doing exactly the same fingerings and same bowings. Well, that's about it, guys. Those are the 3 top reasons why fingerings are really good to use, and you can implement them in your practice, whether you're a beginner or you're an advanced player. And you know, at some point I'll do a video on how do you choose which fingerings, right? There's a different variety of fingerings. Sometimes you use open, sometimes you use 4, sometimes you use 1, you know, in first position, or sometimes you use 3, but then you have to shift to third position. So there's a lot of different combinations you can use to play one note. Well, how do you make these decisions? Well, I'll do another video on how you can make these decisions. But the most important thing is that you write everything in. So guys, I hope this video was helpful for you today. And you know, if you have any other questions or comments, just put them below and let me know. And if you guys think of any other videos that you want me to do, just let me know. You know, I respond to most of the questions and comments I get in the video, so I'm always, you know, ready and willing to help out. And you know, don't forget, you know, here at Kennedy Violins, you know, we're all players and teachers, so we're always happy to answer any of your questions anytime. Thanks, guys.